listen. If he's live on Facebook, then you can listen too.
The good thing is that confidence, just like riding a bike, having confidence is a skill. Just like riding a bike, and one that can be developed over time. So let's get into it. What is core confidence? And I'm putting I'm jamming a lot into here. So stick with me. What is core confidence? Well, core confidence is the art and science of developing 4 key skills and applying them to 4 key areas of your life so that you can be, do, have, and give more than you ever imagined. Now, what are those 4 key skills? What are those 4 key areas? I'm going to tell you. The 4 key skills are clarity, commitment, creativity.
It's Justin Guarini from American Idol.
Areas of your life are your body, your spirituality, your relationships, and your business. And over the next 10 minutes or so, we're going to focus on the foundational skill of clarity. Right there. Boom. So it's at this point the slides stop for a while. And the story of clarity and why it's so important begins. I'm going to leave that up here, just so it really drives it home. Now, clarity is one of the pillars of core confidence. Now, what do I mean by clarity? I mean transparency, being able to see into and through your own life, and a purity of understanding in your life that is based on, if you're taking notes, based on facts. Underline the word facts. Because it's been said that the truth will set you free. But I'd have you consider that the truth is a very relative thing. Just look at the differences in truth, quote unquote, that exist in the American media. My truth is not your truth, is not your father's truth, is not the guys down the street or the person's down the street truth. I'd also have you consider that instead of the truth setting you free, it's the facts that will set you free. It's kind of like when you look at your bank statement at the end of the month, and the truth for you is that you're spending too much money. But if a billionaire came along and looked at your statement, the truth for them would be that that's not a lot of money to spend. The truth is relative. But the fact that you have $10,000 in your bank account at the beginning of the month, and you spend $11,000 throughout the month and end up with a negative $1,000 balance, that's a measurable, and those are measurable facts that anyone, billionaire or otherwise, who has an understanding of money will see as a problem that needs to be addressed. So if you can see the difference between truth and facts, type I see in the comments. The truth is beautiful. Yes.
Should I type I see so they see that I'm here too?
Your truth. The truth is so gorgeous.
All right, I see. I
subject to
see.
interpretation, and your truth can shift. Facts, on the other hand, are indisputable, and when you have clarity on the facts in your life, you can use them as a rock-solid foundation you build the life of your dreams on. You must get very clear about the facts. More specifically, about your body, your spirituality, your relationships, and your business. I'll go back here to this slide. Because if you don't get clear on the facts about where you are today in your body, in your spirituality, in your relationships, and in your business, any actions and visions you have of the future are based on pure fantasy. In other words, if we are BSing ourselves today, we're going to BS ourselves right into the future, and all you're going to have to show for us is more BS. And I don't know anyone who has built a lasting career or success or confidence on a foundation of BS. Many people have tried. And many of them either burn out or blow up their lives in the process. I bet you can think of at least one famous person or big CEO right now who, quote unquote, had everything and then completely destroyed their lives. You getting this? Does it make sense? Okay. I chose clarity for our first discussion together here because so many of us love to spend our lives living in a hazy future paradise that is tainted by opinions and based on fantasy, not facts. Now, what do I mean by that? Statements like, someday I'll have enough money. Someday when I have enough money, rather, things will be great. How many times have I said that? Oh, when I start working out again, I'm going to feel great. Someday. Someday someday I'm going to meet my soulmate. Someday. There's a million some days that we fantasize about every single day. As a matter of fact, and I'm going to speed up because I know I'm already in time, but I'm going to try and wrap this up as quickly as I can. A recent study, but there's so much here. A recent study showed that people on average daydream for about 1.5 hours each day total. That's almost 1 month out of the year. Can you imagine spending an entire month out of a year just daydreaming? I mean, like for some of us, that'd be an amazing vacation. But that number, actually 1.5, it sounds low to me because I'm constantly having to avoid distraction throughout the day. But I know that I certainly feel myself being sucked into the void and the fluffy pink clouds, and while we're off in La La Land, life is happening around us. Oftentimes we're missing out on the vital key of clarity that brings awareness to the obstacles that have been holding us back from actually having the things we dream about. So again, clarity, understanding based on the facts in our lives. And I would have you consider that everyday life is offering us the opportunity
It's
to
Justin
gain clarity,
Guarini from American
especially when it
Idol.
comes to what we want and what we don't want. How?
And if he's streaming on Facebook Live, I thought
lessons. Our
you could
bodies
listen too.
Constantly sending us signals that say, this food makes me feel good, that food doesn't make me feel good. The relationships we have with the people we love are constantly offering us lessons as to what we want, what we don't want, in the form of repetitive arguments, consistent gestures of love, or in the longing we feel to be near or get away from someone. Hello, pandemic. Our businesses and the way we feel about money is constantly offering us the opportunity to learn valuable lessons, especially when we don't get what we want, like a job or a raise or the number of downloads, or when we run out of money. And look, I've never gotten clear about what budgeting means and how much I need to do it until I started running out of money. I know somebody knows what I'm saying. Tell me in the comments. Tell me if you would feel some kind of way about having your financial records put up on the screen right now for everyone to see. Type yes in the comments if you feel some kind of way about that. Yes, Darren, thank you. Or Davreen, rather. Thank you so much. Yeah, yes. It's not going to happen, Alan. Don't worry. Right? If you feel that way, just look at the comments here, or look at, it's not going to actually happen. Don't worry. But I just want you, the reason why I'm making you do this is because I want you to recognize you're not alone. I would be too. It's not because I don't make good money. I do make good money, but I also spend good money. Until 2020 came along, and I fully learned the lesson of clarity that life offered me. It's like, look, and something you'll discover quickly about me is I'm not here to BS or pretend like I'm perfect, or the core confidence is something that just like magically makes you have it all figured out and not struggle and relieves you of the necessary challenges that growth requires. No, I don't play that game. I'm going to stay open and vulnerable here in this conversation and maybe go to an uncomfortable place in the hopes that you will give yourself permission to go there as well and get clear on the facts. Get radically honest with yourself.
Should I edit my profile
so that you can truly leverage the power of clarity when it comes to core confidence. Core confidence is not a silver bullet, but it is the rocket fuel that will help you propel yourself up the mountain that stands between you and what you deserve in life. I've climbed a lot of personal mountains in my time, and I can tell you the power of core confidence gets you to the peak of one mountain and gives you the momentum to climb the next mountain that awaits you that you weren't even aware of. It's like we're on the ground, right? And we look up at the mountain, and there's a cloud layer. We can't even see the peak, right? That's that first day you decided to have a podcast. I don't know what's up there. I have an idea of what's above the cloud layer. And now here you are on whatever 100th episode or whatever season you're on, and you're at the top of the peak. But beyond that cloud layer, you're now able to see all the other possibilities that you couldn't even see. You didn't even have the education and or the confidence, the trust in yourself to see when you were starting that first episode. And so last point that I will make about the lessons life offers us and the opportunities for clarity that come in many forms is in the form of spirituality. Now, God is the description I am comfortable with, but maybe Allah for you, Krishna, Buddha, Yahweh, the universe, source, spirit, power, the great nothing, whatever it is called is irrelevant to this conversation. That it is or isn't a part of your life is relevant to our conversation. I was raised like Roman Catholic, which is like the gold standard Super Bowl champions of Catholicism. And growing up, honestly, it just didn't work for me. And I have nothing against Catholicism. Some of the most beautiful art and good works and scripture have come from Catholicism. And it's a beautiful religion. I've sung so many songs from it. And it works for many people, but it just didn't work for me. And the concept of a higher power might not work for you, but I would ask that you get very clear on the facts in your life around spirituality and your body and your relationships and your business, so that you stand on solid ground in the key areas of your life. So we've uncovered the first stage of core confidence. We've walked down the path of understanding, and I appreciate your time and allowing me to go over my speaking time here. But it is the AKA meditation. Yes, Miranda, absolutely. So we've walked down the path of understanding the first key, which is clarity, aka transpurity, a purity of understanding in our lives that comes from discovering the facts. And so I would like to just wrap up here before we go into questions, and to really just go back and cover, we talked about what confidence is and what it isn't, core confidence, what that is, clarity, the truth versus the facts, that future paradise that we get lost in, and the lessons that are presented to us daily by life in the areas of our body, spirituality, relationships, and business. And so when we gain clarity about where we are today, just to wrap this up, we can begin to build a foundation that allows us to create a future vision that is based on facts, not fantasy. And so as we start to move into the Q&A phase of our session together, and I know I just threw a lot at you and very quickly, 20 minutes is not enough for you, boy. I've done week-long trainings on the subjects we've covered in the past, almost half hour.
Oh, I was going to see if I
you're
could get the
interested in
stream
taking
up
a
on my
deeper dive, I do want to mention that because you showed up here and invested in being a part of this experience, I want to match your energy and give you my upcoming book, Unshakable Confidence, for free before it goes on sale to the general public. And I don't mean like free plus shipping. No, I mean like free for free. All you need to do is head on over to coreconfidencecoaching.com. It's at the bottom of the slide here. Of course, head on over after this event and connect with me there. And you get a digital copy in the not too distant future before anyone else does. I also do a deep dive into clarity and the other pillars of core confidence, and you'll begin to see the reasons why so many people, you and I included, end up falling short of our deepest desires. And you'll hold in your hand the keys to unlocking and stepping through the doors, the keys to unlocking and stepping through the doors that will lead you to a vision and version of yourself, your business, your relationships, your spiritual connection that seem impossible to you here in this moment right now. And it is possible. I'm living proof that achieving the impossible comes from gaining clarity about the facts of your life. Now, before we roll into the Q&A, I got about 2 minutes left. I do want you to try just a short and simple exercise for me and answer a question or two for yourself. Here's the first question. I'm going to come back over here to my slides, right? Actually, it's 3 questions. And here's a handy dandy slide to help you see. Okay, what are the measurable facts about your podcast? Let's make it super specific. Episodes, downloads, listener metrics, demographics, the amount of time it takes to fully create and produce one episode. Now, why do I ask this? Well, if you want something to grow, you must track it, measure it. So when we track the metrics, and quick caveat here, watch out for something one of my favorite marketers, Peng Joon, likes to call vanity metrics. Vanity metrics are things like Facebook and Instagram follower counts and likes, things that only serve to stroke our ego or crush it when we give them the value they don't deserve. No, don't do that. Don't fall for it. Only track the metrics that move the needle for you. In other words, does it cost you money or time, or does it give you money or give you time? Once you start tracking the data, then you can ask yourself this second question. What do I want these numbers to be? Get crystal clear about the vision you have for the future when it comes to episodes, downloads, listener metrics, whatever your demographics, whatever that is for you, right? And then the third and the most vital question is very, very simple, but will be unique to each and every single one of you watching and listening right now. And that is this. Who must I become in order to make my vision a reality? You can meditate on that one for sure. I will leave you with that, and I want to thank you all so much for your time, for your attention, for allowing me to go over, and a big thank you to everyone here, Broadway Podcast Network, of course, my podcast home, PodX. Just thank you. I would love to answer your questions if we still have time, or if there are no questions, and that's fine with me. But this has been an absolute pleasure for me. Thank you very much for your kind words in the comments there, and that's what I got. So if you have any questions, pleasure. Thank you very much, everyone. So if you have any questions or comments, let me know.
Thank you,
I'm going to
Justin.
start doing a tap number here.
Andrew said we can go a little over, so if you guys have questions, please put them in the comments.
Great.
I'm just going to say thank you. Let's see. Thank you. Thank you, Justin.
I appreciate you. With a digital copy of your new book. Well, I would love to give you that copy, Ivy, for free before it goes on sale to everyone. All you have to do is just go to coreconfidencecoaching.com, of course, after this event is
or on another device.
Jen says, mainly mind blown and processing everything. Yeah, it was a lot to throw at you in a short period of time, but I think that everyone is a little saturated, Katie. So I'm happy to just comment. Justin was a 1-inch person on my screen, yet he filled the room. So, there's a question from Nikki.
He'll just start
to collect your pillars and figure out your coaching way. Nikki, I just basically started looking at the data. If you want to learn and become a master at anything, you've got to look or have a breakthrough. Right? Well, I don't know what your breakthrough is going to be, Nikki. I know that for me, my breakthrough, I just had to look every single place. I had to read a bunch of books. You'll see like some of the books I have here, right? Like I just looked everywhere.
It says
when
walk by
you
faith.
want to have a breakthrough, you have to look everywhere for it. I took all of the comments and the questions and the things that people have been asking me. I read all the books, and then I just started finding the things that were similar and putting them together. And what I found was, that people in the slide here, I'm not showing it to you anymore, but I really found like, okay, body, spirituality, relationships. Those are the main areas. And then what moved the needle? Okay, there's the cascading waterfall of I have to get clear on where I am here and now today and get radically honest with myself, and also be clear about where I want to go, right? Because when I do that, when I get radically clear about today, where I am today, and I get radically clear about the vision that I want to have, any manifestation guide or book or whatever it is will tell you, you must be, it's like wishes in Disney movies. You have to be ruthlessly specific, right? Or else you get screwed. So clear about today, clear about their future. But what happens then? We've opened up the gap. And inside that gap, I was thinking, well, how do we bridge that gap? And so clarity. We get clear, right? And then what's the commitment that I have to make to myself in order to have these things? Who must I become in order to be that person 3, 6, 9, 12 months down the line? What commitment must I make? And I don't want to go too long with this because I can talk about it for hours. The commitment is the decision to decide. The Latin root of the word decide means to cut off from, to cut out any other possibility. Who must I become? What commitments must I make? And then along the way, I'm going to have to get creative based on those commitments. And what do? We're creative people, right? So we get really creative about that. And then having that clarity, making those commitments, being creative, developing that trust in myself gives me the final pillar of certainty, the knowing of how to do something, how to be something. So I hope that answers your question for sure. And then, from there we could go off and on forever. So am I doing a book tour, Angela? I wish. Nikki says, thank you for sharing. I'm a creativity and dance coach, and I'd love to hear about other coaches' journeys.
Take the quiz. Click here.
So appreciated. Miranda says, expand on that with the pandemic. Are you doing a virtual tour? Would love to book you on our podcast this year. I would love to be a part of your podcast.
Let's get started.
Miranda, 100%. As you can see, you may have to do some editing because I can get pretty passionate and go on a little bit longer than is intended. But this is the thing. When we talk about confidence, the confide in self, that trust in yourself.
Confide in self.
It's the thing
Confidence.
that is going to make everything else, or is the foundation which you can build everything else that you have heard happening and other people have been talking about on. You can build it on real, true, core confidence. because this is not the first rodeo, folks. This might not be your first podcast. This might
my
not be the
first
first time you come to an
pandemic.
event like this with the thought, I am going to change my fill in the blank. There's a reason why people buy courses and only 30% of them finish them. And so when we invest all kinds of money and all kinds of time and all kinds of effort in these things that we do, but a huge investment, time is probably one of the biggest investments and the most valuable assets we have. Investing just the bare minimum of time in creating what I call core confidence will help to make everything else make sense.
Woof woof, have you
It
seen
will
my
get
coffee?
you out of bed when you don't feel like getting out of bed. It will make you edit the podcast when you're like, if I have to look at one more waveform.
God.
Okay, so Andrew asks, who are the top 3 to 5 most passionate people you know? My wife, who is Italian and Syrian.
Andrew? As in
Let's
Andrew,
see.
Andrew?
Some of my mentors, for sure, a guy named Garrett J. White. He's very passionate. He's someone who I actually learned some of these
Oh, I see it.
skills
Woof.
for, and just been guided a lot in this situation. Helped me to make a shift and pivot in my business at the end of last year, which has made a huge difference. And then my father, who is an ordained minister and was chief of police in Atlanta for many years. He's just an amazing speaker and someone that, like, literally someone was like, Mr. Bell, can you one of our speakers isn't here, can you fill about 10 minutes? And literally he's someone who can take a little notebook and do asterisk sentence, and then go up and speak for 10 minutes like it's nothing. And he's in his 80s and he can still do that. So those are my 3 or so passionate people. And I know that a lot of people here are very passionate. Hi, Andrew. Hello. And so,
I don't see
yeah,
Andrew.
that's my thing, folks. I'm so glad that you're here, and I'm so honored to have been here. Thank you very much for your questions.
Welcome. Katie, do you want to come on and help us close off? And I want to make sure it's respectful of Justin's time. This has been incredible.
I'll let
texting
you
all my
listen
friends
until they
and,
turn the recording off.
family and say, oh, come check out Justin. This is amazing.
Well,
so this has been a blast for sure.
If
Yeah,
they're
so-
live on
I
Facebook,
know, Justin, that was fabulous. Thank you so much.
My
And
pleasure.
we were so happy to have you here with us tonight and hearing about your core confidence and these pillars and your new book. And I just come on back to the podcast network and
Yes.
work on your
I never left.
sharing the goodness.
Cheers. Thank you.
So, and I just want to thank everyone for being here, and Broadway Podcast Network, BPN.FM. We have over 100 theater and theater adjacent podcasts to listen to, and live events and all sorts of other stuff happening. And our app launching today, BPN.FM/app. And I guess that's about it. Andrew, thank you so much for having us, and thank Chris for us.
or /.
This was fabulous. So we're just so appreciative to be a part of this with you guys.
Of course, no, this has definitely been a blast. I can tell this is something that's cultivating for something great to come in the future as well. And this is definitely a great way to end the night. So thank you again to both of you. I'll move you to attendees, and then I'll make some final announcements.
Thanks so much, Andrew. Thanks, Justin.
Okay,
Right, so
they're not live anymore, so I'm turning the sound off. Who's still here? I'm confused. I can't tell what these case studies are. It says the stream is live, but it says there are sub-sessions. Are they all pre-recorded? Because I just watched the one that says 3 o'clock, but I just watched it. What time is it now? There's a speaker. So what was that? What does a purple dot mean? $71 sub-sessions. Live stream. I'm so confused. See, if I go to that one, it's going to play what I just watched. I need to take a break. But if I put this TV on, it's going to sound horrible for you. Let me see.
Vincent and the Nurks had a body.
The flames were put out months ago, but the burn scars in the Santiam Canyon go beyond the trees.
You can't understand how devastating it is until you actually look at it and you see it. I mean, it looks like you're in a war zone.
Suzanne Heller Tours saw the community she grew up in, the community she loves, reduced to rubble. The devastating wildfires left a mangled graveyard of businesses, homes, and livelihoods.
It's one of those things that I think until you've lived through it, you can't imagine what it's like.
Suzanne, grateful her house was still standing after being evacuated, but her home, the canyon, wasn't.
Even now, you see all these empty lots, and you see all of what's left.
Suzanne is more than a community member. She's an advocate for her neighbors, working at the Mill City Food Bank.
And it's technically the Mill City Gates Community Assistance Center. But everybody knows it as the food bank.
About half of the people in her community were displaced, now living in travel trailers, tents, and makeshift shelters, waiting until they can rebuild, all while the pandemic rages on.
They don't have a home. They do not have a place to live in that they are secure and safe and warm.
That's where the food bank comes in.
Well, we hope it's a lifeline. This is open to everyone who is evacuated. So if you were in this canyon during the fire and you need food, that's what we're here for.
All donations are needed in the canyon right now, but especially food. Suzanne says when her neighbors in need don't have to worry about where their next meal comes from, they can focus on other basic needs to get by.
It's going to be cold. You're going to have to go get
I'll check
more
the sound.
protein, because we have people literally living in their cars still, or living in a tent.
Suzanne moved away from the canyon years ago, but found her way back, just like her hubby. The two actually reconnected and sparked up a romance right here at the pantry. It's that ability to come home, to return to the canyon that she hopes for.
But I think if you
I'll check the
have
sound on Twitch.
your livelihood and you have a little extra, think about those people who have nothing. Those are the people we need to give to.
Because it's not just the place Suzanne loves, it's the community, the people. And right now, they need our help.
And so if we can't give to those people, we're going to lose them. And those people are part of our community, and that's what makes this canyon the way it is.
people like Suzanne out there making a difference every day, and we need your help to make a difference. Our goal for the KGW Great Food Drive is to raise money for 1.5 million pounds of food. And we are off to a great start, already bringing in close to over 90,000 pounds. But we need more help. We talked with Toyota, one of our partners, about the importance of the food drive.
Right. Toyota's been a partner now for, I believe, 16 years. And there's always been a need for hunger, unfortunately. And now that need is greater than ever. Toyota will always be a partner as long as there's a need. When you think about the fact that 1 in 4 kids goes hungry, that's a big reason why the Toyota dealers want to support this food drive.
Now, all this week, Pacific Foods is matching the first $10,000 donated. To see all the ways to give, or if you yourself need assistance, visit kgw.com/food drive. Along with Pacific Foods and local Toyota dealerships, we want to thank Rivermark Community Credit Union and Safeway for supporting this year's food drive. A symphony, which can be music to the ears of kids. Puppets pump up the interest in instruments. Portland Shriners Hospital's walk-in fracture and sports injury clinic, open all day.
Tomorrow, it's an ongoing investigation. Why do Portland police have 0 body cameras? This time, Kyle Bochi takes that question directly to City Hall for answers. We first told you how Portland was the only big city police department without body cams. So it's finding really the barrier. I decided it's time for city leaders to weigh in. What do they think of body cams? We asked every one of them, including the mayor. Some folks are pushing back. Cameras won't be the silver bullet. The story tomorrow at 6 on KGW.
There's never.
All right, I'm gonna see if I can fix the studio. Let me see if they email me back. I told them I couldn't fix it myself.
Slow smoked bacon for just $3 each. Only a Jack in the Box.
This is Mary. She runs the school pantry at Woodlawn Elementary. And every Wednesday, she hands out food to families. In the pandemic, school pantries have been a bright spot, a place where families can safely get food. Rivermark Community Credit Union is proud to support the KGW Great Food Drive. Throughout March, please stop by any Rivermark branch and donate. Your donations help keep school pantries going. They help people like Mary feed families.
Escape your everyday routine
Messages.
by visiting CurtisTrailers.com. Compare more than 200 floor plans and
Meetups.
dozens of weekly
Let's look at the
specials from
meetups.
Oregon's largest selection at Curtis Trailers, Portland, Beaverton, and CurtisTrailers.com.
How to change the way you pizza. Step 1, grab a delicious Papa Murphy's pizza. Step 2, bake. Step 3, chow down on the deliciousness. Right now, get the cowboy pizza.
Did anyone
for just
respond to what I
$13.
posted?
Papa Murphy's.
Live video demo, exhibitor showcase, clubhouse, mental health.
Unwind and save thousands. Avoid the expense and maintenance involved with a pool. Swim, exercise, and relax in your new aquatic exercise swim spa. Installation in 1 day only. New 2021 inventory. 18-month interest-free financing. Millions of dollars of inventory must be sold. Clark County Event Center at the Fairgrounds, Ridgefield. Free admission. Call 1-888-SPA.
Gear swap meet. What?
There's never a bad time to enjoy my newest soft and loaded curly fries, or triple cheddar, or spicy pepper jack. Let's talk with slow smoked bacon. Get both for just $3 each. Only a Jack in the Box.
Well, check this out. Portland Community College theater students are bringing entertainment to audiences at home. This week, they're putting on live virtual performances of the Shakespeare classic Romeo and Juliet. The cast is using puppets to portray their characters. The students spent 7 weeks creating them. They say it was fun and challenging, not only learning how to sculpt them, but also imagining what their characters would look like in puppet form.
They're vessels for our imaginations, and characters we create are an extension of our persona for that character, which is something you don't typically see because when you are on stage, you are the character.
It's just so neat, and it's really impressive work. On top of the puppets, by the way, students had to adapt to acting with each other virtually.
The practicing the mirror thing, which a lot of actors do, becomes absolutely an essential thing to do when you're practicing for a tiny screen.
Theater is resilience, its ability to move with the times, or if we don't have a budget, then we do something where we don't need a lot of money. If we don't have an audience that can come and gather in the same physical spot with us, then we'll find a platform where we can reach people through the screens that they already have.
And the theater nerd in me is coming out because puppetry is so cool and it is such an awesome talent. I can't wait to see this. The first show is at 7 p.m. tomorrow with performances running through Sunday. You can watch for free, but donations are welcome. For the full schedule and to register for a show, just visit pcc.edu/theater. Portland's gets creative to raise interest. John Goodwin tells us about their new online series that's both fun and educational.
Wrapping up its 39th season, Portland Columbia Symphony has always been about the community outreach.
What really drives us is accessibility and affordability.
We all know how musicians have been affected in the last 12 months. Executive Director Rebecca Phillips touts how everyone's come together.
So I think folks understand that it's more important than ever that we innovate and that we stay connected.
Which includes getting children involved.
I've actually been wanting to do it for a long time.
Wait, I want to see the
Thanks to the
leaderboard.
artistic mind of
I could use one of
PCSO
those.
musician Nicole Buetti. Vincent and the Nurks have pulled some strings to bring some fun to kids.
You know, some people think that classical music is a little bit stuffy and hard to get involved in, and this is just a way to kind of to remove that wall and to hopefully make it more accessible.
Hi, it's me, Vincent.
Nicole has built quite the YouTube following through other educational videos with puppets she's created. She's partnered with PCSO for the latest series, Meet the Instruments. The first of 16 episodes premieres Friday, March 12th. Of course, Vincent is excited too.
It's going to be every instrument in the orchestra. So we're going to do all the woodwinds, brass, strings, and even harp and percussion.
We wanted it to align with the rest of the school season to help support folks who are learning at home, music educators, parents, families, and teachers, so that it kind of coincided with the school calendar. And so it runs weekly through the end of June.
I really enjoy just trying to create a character or characters that the kids can relate to, that can help make learning fun.
Music is typically the first on the chopping block in schools, so both the Symphony and the Nurks are committed to bringing it to kids any way they can.
This is hopefully just a resource that kids can have to still keep them connected to the music community, to show them how wonderful and fun music can be.
So stay tuned, and thanks for watching. Bye.
Oh, we will stay tuned. That is awesome.
How what?
We're talking about music. What's your most memorable
How what?
concert or live performance?
A resource that kids can have to still keep them connected to the music community, to show them how wonderful and fun music can be.
So stay tuned, and thanks for watching. Bye.
Oh, we will stay tuned. That is awesome. And while we're talking about music, what's your most memorable concert or live performance? Cameron Mason says he saw Bob Seger at the Moda Center back in 2019. Feels so long ago, doesn't it? David took this photo at a Kiss concert during their final tour.
Can have to still keep them connected to the music community, to show them how wonderful and fun music can be.
So stay tuned, and thanks for watching. Bye.
Oh, we will stay tuned. That is awesome. And while we're talking about music, what's your most memorable concert or live performance? Cameron Mason says he saw Bob Seger at the Moda Center back in 2019. Feels so long ago, doesn't it? David took this photo at a Kiss concert during their final tour. Oh my gosh, David, that had to be epic. I love that. Joshua Martin followed the Misfits as they performed around the country.
Wow, I need more coffee.
Committed to bringing it to kids any way they can.
This is hopefully just a resource that kids can have to still keep them connected to the music community, to show them how wonderful and fun music can be.
So stay tuned, and thanks for watching. Bye.
Oh, we will stay tuned. That is awesome. And while we're talking about music, what's your most memorable concert or live performance? Cameron Mason says he saw Bob Seger at the Moda Center back in 2019. Oh, feels so long ago, doesn't it? David took this photo at a Kiss concert during their final tour. Oh my gosh, David, that had to be epic. I love that. Joshua Martin followed the Misfits as they performed around the country in 20.
Like I said, my ADD's bad. I can't follow what you're saying.
That is awesome. And while we're talking about music, what's
can relate to that can help make learning fun.
Music is typically the first on the chopping block in schools, so both the Symphony and the NERCs are committed to bringing it to kids any way they can.
This is hopefully just a resource that kids can have to still keep them connected to the music community, to show them how wonderful and fun music can be.
So stay tuned, and thanks for watching. Bye.
Oh, we will stay tuned. That is awesome. And while we're talking about music, what's your most memorable concert or live performance? Cameron Mason says he saw Bob Seger at the Moda Center back in 2019. Oh, feels so long ago, doesn't it? David took this photo at a Kiss concert during their final tour. Oh my gosh, David, that had to be epic. I love that. Joshua Martin followed the Misfits as they performed around the country in 2019. He says their show in Las Vegas was one of the best shows during the tour. That's so cool. We want to know what your most memorable live concert was. Text us at 503.
Anyone else have trouble paying attention when they...
I love that. Joshua Martin followed the Misfits as they performed around the country in 2019. He says their show in Las Vegas was one of the best shows during the tour. That's so cool. We want to know what your most memorable live concert was. Text us at 503-226-5088. Hey, when we come back, the Washington comedian using his fame to give other performers a boost.
Recover faster, feel better in a swim spa from Oregon Hot Tub. Inside the Villages. There is no place like this. Is it really a Disney World for retirees?
I just think it's heaven on earth.
Watch the next exhibition. Tonight.
All right, where's
KGW.
The COVID-19
the thing with
vaccine
the...
is here. That's why we created the KGW vaccine team.
We're researching the answers every day, so you can make an informed decision for you and your family.
Cut straight to the Vax facts. Visit kgw.com/vaccine.
Oregon Hot Tub invites you to save now and soak later. As Oregon's largest, we can offer you the best choices in swim spas, saunas, and hot spring hot tubs. Create your own in-home fitness center or backyard retreat. Start today at Oregon.
Leaderboard. I have to check out the leaderboard.
For Educator of the Year, it was
I need to drink some more coffee too. Photo, there's a contest going on. Enter to win.
To be honored in that same category.
Where's her dog?
is truly humbling.
She wants people to vote for.
Paying my mortgage for a year, it has really changed my life. Every single community member has had a teacher that has made a difference.
Nominate your favorite teacher today at onpointprize.com.
Webfoot Concrete Coatings is proud to serve the Portland metro area. In just one day, we transform ugly and damaged concrete floors into the bonus room
After
you'll
party.
love. We've been committed to your satisfaction for over 17 years. Webfoot Concrete Coatings.
This personal trainer deserves a raise. And good drivers deserve to save money on car insurance. The Wawanesa Way. Great rates for good drivers.
Kids love to play, and no matter what the sport is, it comes with risk of injury. Shriners Hospital for Children Portland has a walk-in clinic that provides...
All right, I'm looking for the dog picture. I want to see what my rank is.
Quality care for busy families, so your kids can get back to doing what they love. Portland Shriners Hospital's walk-in fracture and sports injury clinic, open all day.
Whether you own a hot tub or a pool now or are looking to purchase, Oregon Hot Tub can help. From great prices and quality hot spring hot tubs, swim spas and saunas to full-service maintenance and a full line of cleaning products, we've got you covered. Visit OregonHotTub.com.
A Washington comedian and actor uses his success to help others trying to break into the industry. You may recognize Nate Jackson. He's in the NBC comedy Young Rock. He opened Super Funny Comedy Club in Tacoma last year, but it shut down just days later because of COVID. Well, it recently reopened with safety protocols. Nate says he wants his club to be a place where local comedians can work on their acts.
They don't get big and they don't turn into megastars without having a place to work out and to grow and be groomed.
In addition to his TV role on NBC, Nate has been on MTV, HBO, BET, and he has done stand-up all over the country. A very, very funny guy. And
Sorry. Again, need more coffee.
Because of COVID. Well, it recently reopened with safety protocols. Nate says he wants his club to be a place where local comedians can work on their acts.
They don't get big and they don't turn into megastars without having a place to work out and to grow and be groomed.
In addition to his TV role on NBC, Nate has been on MTV, HBO, BET, and he has done stand-up all over the country. A very, very funny guy and a guy with a big heart who wants to help his fellow comedians. I like that. Well, thanks so much for joining us. And remember, keep on sharing the good stuff. We're going to leave you tonight with more of your responses about your most memorable concert. I feel like I'm right there at the show with you. Thanks for taking a little time for the good stuff.
Thank you, Oregon, for keeping social visits outside, despite the inconvenience.
A bright light starts with a spark. Your plasma has the same potential. By donating plasma, you light up the lives of others with treatments for chronic conditions and life-threatening illnesses. And your donation is especially important now in helping patients around the world. Plasma is your own special light, and it shines on all of us. Give your light. Donate plasma. Find a Griffles Center at grifflesplasma.com.
Ready?
No.
No.
You ready to go to sleep, bro?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Guess what? You get 2 kisses. Very good. And no more for good luck.
Be advised, this is a once-in-a-lifetime chance to save up to 20 to 60% on the hot tub and swim spa. Friday through Sunday. Manufacturers and warehouses clearance of new 2021 inventory. Clark County Event Center at the fairgrounds. Over 100 hot tubs on display and everything must go. See the revolutionary swim spa. You can exercise, swim, and relax without the expense and maintenance of a pool. Hot tub starting at $29.95. Up to 20 to 60% off. 18-month interest-free financing. Trade-ins welcome. Free delivery. We'll even haul away your old hot tub. Clark County Event Center at the fairgrounds. Ridgefield. Free admission. Call 1-888-SPA-SALE.
EV8 on the Speedway.
The question, how many laps on a full charge?
Oregon's goal, more electric cars on the road to help reduce our carbon footprint.
EV power!
Now that's good energy.
Please verify the network connection. Let's try it again. I can like my own picture. Let's see it.
Thank you, Oregon, for keeping social visits outside, despite the inconvenience.
Meghan Markle. Bully? Is that what she's really like?
She says she's the victim of a smear campaign.
Then, Wendy Williams blowback after she refuses to take the COVID vaccine.
No, I don't trust it.
And
A 91-year-old man who was given 2 COVID vaccines by accident on the same day.
how do you feel today?
That's
I'm
not.
angry and I'm upset.
upset.
God.
March 4th, red alert. A new threat
God.
to attack the Capitol tomorrow.
This date that some QAnon crazies have circled on their calendar. Is this D-Day for the QAnon flakes? Plus, after Dr. Oz brings an airline passenger back to life, 1, 2, 3, 4. What do you need to know to safely perform CPR in
Where's
a
the
crisis?
contest?
Seniors gone wild? Is the largest retirement community in the nation really Party Central? What the new documentary reveals. Now, Inside Edition with Deborah Norton.
Lee's second, Peter's third. Where am I?
When Prince Harry and Duchess Meghan retired from royal life, they blamed the toxic nature of the British press. But getting out of England hasn't gotten them away from the ugly stories. As Amber Cagliano tells us, a new report accuses Meghan of bullying at least 2 of her former staff, something her team labels a smear campaign.
Did Meghan Markle bully her staff, even making them cry? The blockbuster accusations come from the prestigious London Times newspaper on the eve of Meghan's controversial interview with Oprah. The Times claims when Meghan was a working member of the royal family, her harsh words drove 2 personal assistants from the household. Formal complaints were made about her behavior, and it went right to Buckingham Palace. A spokesman for Meghan is lashing out today, saying she's saddened by this latest attack on her character, particularly as someone who has been the target of bullying herself. Let's just call this what it is, a calculated smear campaign based on misleading and harmful misinformation. The complaint about Meghan was reportedly officially filed by Jason Knopf, who is Meghan and Harry's former communications director. His email to the palace was quoted as saying, "I am very concerned that the Duchess was able to bully 2 personal assistants out of the household."
This is serious stuff. And it was apparently sort of shoved under the carpet. And the victims of the alleged bullying were made to sign non-disclosure agreements.
It just feels like this is very carefully timed, and like that there's a reason, and they're trying to create an opposition to what maybe they're going to say in the interview.
Late today, Buckingham Palace announced it had launched a full investigation. We are clearly very concerned about allegations in the Times. Accordingly, our HR team will look into the circumstances. The royal household does not and will not tolerate bullying or harassment in the workplace. One thing we know for certain, the eyes of the world will be on that interview.
I'm number 89.
It was announced today that the interview will air in England on Monday night, the day after it airs in this country.
89.
Of the more than 500,000 Americans who have died from COVID-19, nearly 15% of them have been African American. But suspicion of vaccines remains high among some in the Black community, and Wendy Williams is one of them. She is publicly saying she will not get the shot, to the consternation of medical professionals. Here's Les Trent.
Share an article.
Wendy Williams says there's no way she's getting vaccinated.
No, I don't trust it. There, I said it. I don't trust it.
Dr. Oz tries to persuade her during an appearance on his show,
Posted
even showing
question
video of
in-
his own vaccination. But the talk show host is adamant.
I've never gotten the flu shot either, though, and you and I have talked about that. And several of the doctors on my team talked to me about Wendy will get the flu shot. I've never had the flu. I'm not getting a flu shot.
Dr. Oz, who's making headlines
Session
today
Q&A.
for resuscitating a man who had a heart attack at Newark Airport, tells Inside Edition he's concerned that Wendy's reluctance may influence millions of her fans not to get vaccinated.
I was stunned and flabbergasted when she told me that she wasn't going to get vaccinated. She's thinking about it, but she's a very firm, opinionated woman, as you know. And I think she speaks for a lot of women in the Black community.
One commentator called her remarks incredibly ignorant and destructive. Well, Wendy won't get one vaccine shot. This 91-year-old man is in the hospital after he was vaccinated twice on the same day. Victor, how do you feel today?
Terrible.
Terrible? Yeah, I'm sure. It was a case of mistaken identity. Victor Smith was given one shot at a mass vaccination site near Cincinnati. Then, just 4 hours later, he was given a second shot at a nursing home where he was staying. The shots are supposed to be spaced out 21 days for Pfizer and 28 days in the case of Moderna. His daughter-in-law told me what happened.
There was a fireman that came in and had a shot for Victor, but it was a different Victor. And they didn't check his name band.
Victor suffered respiratory distress and was rushed to the hospital.
I'm angry and I'm upset.
His daughter Dawn says no one seems to know how to treat a massive vaccine overdose.
Nobody really can give me an answer, and I think that part of that is because the vaccine is so new.
And Dolly Parton not only got her second vaccine shot, she posted this video, a rewrite of one of her biggest hits, Jolene.
Vaccine, vaccine, because once you're dead, then that's a bit too late.
Number 1 woman in America. And while 10% of Americans have gotten the vaccine, the CDC says the number of cases and deaths rose 2% this week over the week before. And that's why news that Mississippi is lifting mandates today and Texas next week is causing concern. Here's Megan Alexander.
A storm of reaction today to the governor of Texas's call to end COVID-19 restrictions.
He's a dumbass.
To open Texas 100%.
Public health experts appeared on all the morning shows voicing concern.
We're so close to the finish line here in terms of vaccinating high-risk people that I wish Texas, Mississippi, other states would just hold off
woof, woof.
another little bit.
Inside Edition spoke to infectious disease expert Dr. Anne Ramoyne.
It's not the time to completely open the doors, take off our masks, and get back to life as it used to be. We still have high rates of cases, we still have high rates of deaths, and we don't have enough vaccines in arms.
A poll by WFAA TV in Dallas shows 70% support in Texas for the governor's decision. We spoke to reporter Tom Abrams of KTRK in Houston.
The governor is relying on Texans' intelligence and their personal responsibility to make sure they're still doing the things they need to do to avoid getting sick or spreading COVID.
Grace and Carlos Muniz know all about the dangers of the pandemic.
I pronounce you man and wife.
They were married in a San Antonio hospital where Carlos was battling the virus. Now recovering at home, he and Grace say they oppose the governor's decision.
I completely understand people wanting to get back to normalcy, but it is too soon.
If you're a student of history, you might know that until 1933, March 4th was the date for presidential inaugurations. And there's concern among some law enforcement that there could be possible violence that day in Washington, D.C. Here's why.
The FBI is warning that extremists may be plotting a repeat attack on the Capitol tomorrow, March 4th. The date is linked to a bizarro QAnon conspiracy theory.
This date that some QAnon crazies have circled on their calendar as the date where, I don't know, that Donald Trump somehow ascends from the depths, takes over the White House again.
Images like these are popping up on social media. Trump and Melania riding triumphantly into our nation's capital on a motorbike. It sounds totally kooky.
What did he say before that? Hold on a second.
History.
Wait a second.
Might know that until 1933, March 4th was the date for presidential inaugurations. And there's concern among some law enforcement that there could be possible violence that day in Washington, D.C. Here's why.
The FBI is warning that extremists may be plotting a repeat attack on the Capitol tomorrow, March 4th. The date is linked to a bizarro QAnon conspiracy theory.
This date that some QAnon crazies have circled on their calendar as the day where, I don't know, that Donald Trump somehow ascends from the depths, takes over the White House again.
Images like these are popping up on social media. Trump and Melania riding triumphantly into our nation's capital on a motorbike.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
But the Capitol Police is taking the threat seriously, issuing this bulletin. We have obtained intelligence that shows a possible plot to breach the Capitol by an unidentified militia group. The department has taken immediate steps to enhance our security posture and staffing. 5,000 National Guard troops remain on duty in D.C. because of this and other unspecified threats. The fencing will also remain for now. But there is concern today that they are being served substandard meals. Michigan Guardsmen posted these images of moldy oranges and chicken with metal shavings.
Oh!
It might be some sort of like Brillo pad remnants that are actually in the food, and this is not acceptable.
A Fox News contributor is speaking out for the first time about what it was like in Trump's inner circle during the January 6th riots.
It was disbelief, shock, somber, sad, horrified by the violence. They do not represent our movement. They are the opposite of our movement.
Do you think that the former president, Donald J. Trump, holds responsibility for what happened?
No, I don't. I don't. You've no doubt seen that footage of the moment Lady Gaga's dog walker was shot by dog nappers. But what was it like to be there?
God.
We're now hearing from a good Samaritan who was one of the first on the scene. He told Jim Murray what the dog walker said as he was fighting for his life.
Meet the hero who helped save the life of Lady Gaga's dog walker. In this Inside Edition exclusive, Carlos Pantoja says he was watching TV with his boyfriend when two assailants pulled up in front of his home, and he saw them shoot dog walker Ryan Fisher.
In my head, I was just saying, please make it, please make it.
Ring camera footage shows Carlos on his cell phone calling 911 and running to the dog walker with one mission in mind: keep him alert until the ambulance arrived.
I said, come on, buddy, you got this. You got this. It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay.
You knew that if he fell asleep, that could be dangerous.
I mean, he was losing a lot of blood.
Carlos says he's certain that Lady Gaga's dog, Asia, who managed to escape the dog nappers, was also instrumental in keeping the dog walker alive.
The fact that that dog was on him, it kind of saved him. She was really cradled and cuddled up with him, and she did not want to move.
Carlos says the dog walker had only one concern, and that was for Lady Gaga's 3 French bulldogs. Lady Gaga's team has reached out to thank them.
We did hear from Gaga's team, which was nice, just thanking us for putting out the footage and giving us permission to put out the footage.
Lady Gaga was spotted leaving her hotel in Rome, looking fashionable. She seems to be in good spirits, knowing her devoted dog walker is going to be okay, and her 3 French bulldogs are safe at home.
I know why Gaga chose him to take care of her dogs, because he literally risked his life to take care of these 2 beautiful animals.
Yesterday, we told you how Dr. Oz saved a man who had a near-fatal heart attack at the airport. He says the incident is a reminder that everyone needs to know how to do CPR correctly. Stephen Fabian went to an expert for information we all need to know.
Dr. Oz knew what to do when a fellow passenger at the airport suffered a heart attack, but would you? Shane Woodall is founder of Frontline Health in New York. What's the first thing you're supposed to do?
So the first thing you want to do is just take a quick look around, make sure you're going to be safe. You don't want to run into any situation where you might get hurt. And then it's very simple. We want to check for responsiveness. We want to tap and shout. Hey, are you okay? Are you okay? And then we want to call 911 immediately.
Next, begin chest compressions. Because of COVID-19, avoid mouth-to-mouth resuscitation.
What we're recommending right now is to provide hands-only CPR. Don't worry about breathing. Don't put your mouth on anyone. Push hard, push fast to the tune of staying alive, 100 to 120 beats per minute, and make sure you go deep, at least 2 inches deep into the chest.
The best way to maintain that consistent beat is to sing the song Staying Alive, as seen in this episode of The Office.
A good trick is to hum to the tune of Staying Alive by the Bee Gees. Do you know that song?
Yes, I do. I love that song. First I was afraid, I was petrified.
Faster.
Staying alive, staying alive.
The show was silly, of course, but Woodall says it's crucial to take CPR seriously. He believes everyone should get certified. Proper technique could be the difference between life and death.
So we put the heel of one of our hands right in the center of the person's chest, top to bottom and left to right. We want to make sure we're on the sternum and not down in the abdomen. We don't want to be in the abdomen. We want to be right on the center of the chest. We put one hand on top of the other. We lace our fingers together. We want to straighten our elbows, and we want to push really hard all the way down, 100 to 120 beats per minute. Staying alive.
What is the biggest mistake that people make? Not starting CPR is the biggest mistake. People are afraid of hurting this person or doing something to cause harm. And the second thing people do is they don't push hard enough.
You're going to push a lot harder than
You do. It's a lot harder than you think. No such thing as pushing too hard.
So pay attention. You too can save a life just like Dr. Oz.
Go to redcross.org to find a CPR course near you. We'll be back right after this.
Next, Seniors Gone Wild.
He's the largest retirement community in the nation. Really? Party Central? What the
Where are your fucking masks?
Love Connection on the 10th floor. How this jigsaw puzzle brought them together during the lockdown.
I knew he was definitely flirting.
Inside Edition with Deborah Norville. We'll be right back.
Your mission.
Working on updates, 59% complete. Do not turn off your computer. Do you think that will fix the problem with Apps Studio? We shall see. Hey, Woof, you want to see if you can fix the studio if I can't fix it? I finally did drink some more coffee. I'm tired. Then we can, if we fix it, then maybe we can try for that contest.
As of certain cancers, including lymphoma and tears in the stomach or intestines and changes in lab results, your doctor should monitor your blood work. Tell your doctor about any infections, and if you are or may become pregnant while taking Rinvoq.
Take on RA. Talk to your dermatologist about Rinvoq relief. Rinvoq.
All right, let's try and see if it fixes it. It says it. Okay, let's try.
Be advised, this is a once-in-a-lifetime chance to save up to 20 to 60% on the hot tub and swim spa. Friday through Sunday. Major manufacturers and warehouses clearing some new 2021 inventory. Clark County Event Center at the fairgrounds. Over 100 hot tubs on display and everything must go. See the revolutionary swim spa. You can exercise, swim, and relax without the expense and maintenance of a pool. Hot tubs starting at $29.95. Up to 20 to 60% off. 18-month interest-free financing. Trade-ins welcome. Free delivery. We'll even haul away your old hot tub. Clark County Event Center at the fairgrounds. Richfield. Free admission. Call 1-888-SPA-SALE.
There's only one way to celebrate a year of lockdown.
We get to go nuts. Deep cleaning.
Think about it like it's a store-wide cavity search. It's Store 1217's turn to spread its cheeks.
Woohoo! Superstore, new Thursday on NBC.
They have a new way to wash your money. Hot tub.
What's those weird diseases?
Not that.
Good girls, returning Sunday on NBC.
It's the retirement community in Florida that bills itself as a playground for seniors. It figured prominently during the presidential campaign. But is the Villages the idyllic playground it appears? A new documentary takes a look.
It's the largest.
Now it says fair, good, poor.
Just north of Orlando, the Villages is home to 130,000 seniors. They enjoy all sorts of activities. It also became a battleground during the presidential election.
I have an idea. I will sell Mar-a-Lago, and I'll move to the Villages. You know what? Not the worst idea.
Now there's a new documentary about the Villages, Some Kind of Heaven. It looks like a great place to live, right? But there have been prior allegations of a wild swinger scene loaded with booze and drugs.
There is some drama to the story, right? A lot of drama.
And
No internet.
Say they left Nashville and moved to the Villages to breathe new life into their 47-year marriage. Instead, life in the Villages became a nightmare. Reggie Angie ended up being arrested for cocaine and marijuana possession.
You're probably the rudest person I've ever had in court, I can tell you that.
What was that like for you?
Horrible. It was,
Why
it
is there
was
no-
embarrassing.
why
I
is there-
had never been through that before, and all of that was just awful for me.
Les Oppenheim directed the new documentary.
You can't outrun your problems, no matter how many activities, no matter how much, pickleball you'll play, your problems will catch up with you.
For me, it hasn't been the fantasy land that I thought it would be.
Barbara Locchiato moved to the Villages from Boston in search of sunshine and retirement bliss.
Pickleball you'll play, your problems will catch up with you.
For me, it hasn't been the fantasy land that I thought it would be.
Barbara Locchiato moved to the Villages from Boston in search of sunshine and retirement bliss. Instead, she found herself isolated and unhappy after her husband died.
You really shouldn't come to the Villages if you're single.
But many residents really love it.
I just think it's heaven on earth.
The documentary Some Kind of Heaven is now streaming on demand.
Still to come. Love Connection on the 10th floor. How this jigsaw puzzle brought them together during the lockdown.
I knew he was definitely flirting.
What's happened to me? I can't believe it myself. It is dirtier than it looks. It is dirtier than it looks. Try new Tide Hygienic Clean.
As a talking bucket of KFC, dinner time is my time to shine. Grab some piping hot chicken, young man. Much better than microwave hot dogs, right, Dad? Eat up. I'm doing the cooking tonight. So pick up a KFC $20 fill-up today.
Wait, we don't want to create a new broadcast. We're still on the broadcast. How about if we launch the studio?
Now with buy one, get one for $1. Mix and match a fillet of fish with other classics.
Enable camera and mic.
This is Mary. She runs the school pantry in Woodlawn Elementary. And every Wednesday, she hands out food to families. In the pandemic, school pantries have been a bright spot. A place where families can
Join
safely get
broadcast.
food. Rivermark Community Credit Union is proud to support the KGW Great Food Drive. Throughout March, please stop by any Rivermark branch and donate. Your donations help keep school pantries
It's not
going.
working.
They help people like Barry feed families.
Why isn't it working, Woof Woof?
At Pacific Foods, we believe that everyone
I know you're a calm dog. You don't get upset like I do. Let me
just
see.
1 year, the need for food has almost doubled in Oregon, and we can do something about it. At Pacific, we're out to nourish and inspire every
How do I
family.
join the broadcast if it won't let me?
Great Food Drive. Please give at kgw.com/food drive.
It's the Wolf and Sub-Zero Grand Kitchen event on now at Vasco. With the purchase of a qualifying Wolf or Sub-Zero appliance package, take your choice of a $1,000 rebate or 3 additional years of warranty protection. Your #1 source for Wolf and Sub-Zero? Vasco, on the corner of Northwest 14th and Davis.
Launch studio.
Legendary swim spa at a one-time sale Friday through Sunday. Clark County Event Center at the fairgrounds. Exercise with low impact. Swim the entire year and
Join broadcast without camera and mic.
avoid the expense and maintenance involved with a pool. Swim, exercise, and relax in your new aquatic exercise swim spa. Installation in 1 day only.
Reload studio.
18-month interest-free financing. Millions of dollars of inventory must be sold. Clark County Event Center at the fairgrounds, Ridgefield. Free admission. Call 1-888 SPA sale.
You got her?
We're good.
Enable camera and mic.
Now with buy one, get one for $1. Mix and match 2 favorites and make
Join broadcast.
Wake up, check your texts, Facebook alerts, then get your daily dose of energy and info with KGW's 3 Things to Know newsletter. Face your day plugged in. Go to kgw.com/email to sign up now.
Spring is just around the corner and a new season brings new opportunities to save.
We teamed up with Retail Me Not and its shopping expert, Sarah Skirball, for spring savings tips.
Retail Me Not's making it easy to save money right now with the Spring for Savings event, featuring over 100 exclusive cashback offers and deals on everything you might need. Let's start with deals that can freshen
freshen up your look. Consider purchasing some new makeup this spring. Today through Sunday, Tarte Cosmetics is offering 20% off if you spend $75 or more. Also, face masks remain a staple in our everyday new normal, so get creative and check out Vistaprint, where you can choose from tons of face mask styles or consider a custom creation. Right now, Vistaprint is offering 25% off one item or 35% off if you purchase 2 items or more on the site. Lastly, tax season is already upon us. TurboTax has real tax experts who are ready to help or do the work for you. Plus, they have amazing deals. You can save up to $20 off, plus get $15 cash back when you file with TurboTax Deluxe.
When we come back, a lockdown love connection.
Let's test the performance again. Anyone know how to fix this?
Please tell me it's because you use natural glow and not a nude beach situation.
Create your own sunshine with glow.
Decent, but you might want to avoid any CPU intensive features. Here are some tips. Close any other open windows. Screen sharing or video effects. Okay, well, is there anything else open? No. So why won't it work? Is it the cloud? Completed with errors? Skype is active? Let's see. What is this? Let's close Skype.
Love survives. Next.
What about this? What about this? What about this?
Oh, just sharing my triple bonus jack combo. Triple meat and cheese, secret sauce. Go ahead, tell them how much it is. It's just $5.99. Only a Jack in the Box. Sorry, what were you gonna say?
All right. What about this? How do we close that?
Community Builder Award. 4 schools will get a $2,000 grant, and 1 additional school selected by community votes will get $5,000 to fund
The
an
mic?
educational project.
Google Chrome is using your mic.
Private and charter schools K through 12 can apply for the prize, and you can help decide who
Audio manager? What does this question mark do? This is Skype. What is this? What is this? Let's see if we can fix any of this. This is... All right, let's close Skype. Close a Google, whatever this thing is. Let's see. Device, speakers, microphone. Unlimited photo, 1 error. Why is there an error? Retry. All right, what about this? Speakers, microphone.
Fits your style. With our unique tub-over-tub installation in just a day.
Microphone.
With no demo or mess. With quality that's guaranteed for life, it fits your high standards. Why have over 2 million people welcomed Bathfitter into their homes? It just fits. Bathfitter. Call now or visit bathfitter.com to book your free consultation.
Set default device.
My triple bonus jack combo is back. The triple meat and cheese you need, the secret sauce you love, plus curly fries and a drink. It's a pretty legit combo.
Set default device. Okay.
Thousands of people living in these adult foster care homes in Oregon had no way to get the vaccine.
It's not right.
After we contacted state agencies, these residents
Speakers.
are finally getting the help they need.
They will get vaccinated.
Visit kgw.com/vaccine.
Okay. Drag and drop your photos.
Has led to love.
When Stacy Pawlitzki moved into the 10th floor apartment in this Chicago high-rise, her neighbor 2 doors down noticed how pretty she was. For months, Alex Morton made occasional small talk in the elevator. Then last March, as the country was locking down, they ran into each other in the hallway.
I pretended to be upset that she didn't remember my name. She said something effective. Oh yeah, well then, what's my name if you're so mad I don't remember? And I said, well, I just call you the cute neighbor girl that lives on my floor.
Like a lot of people stuck at home during the pandemic, Stacy had just ordered a giant jigsaw puzzle.
She came knocking on my door.
I did, yeah.
Asking if I wanted to come over to do the puzzle.
Well, wouldn't you know it? Now the next door neighbors on the 10th floor have moved in together. Truly a pandemic love story.
We wish them the best. That's Inside Edition. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Deborah Norval.
All right, I can't fix it yet. I need someone to tell me how to fix it.
CNN Tonight, brought to you by Ryder. Expertise, flexibility, innovation. Ever better.
Ever better. It's when disruption hits your supply chain. And Ryder makes you ever ready with end-to-end warehouse, transportation, and logistics solutions. Ever flexible through our e-commerce fulfillment network and last mile delivery. Ever seeing with innovative technology that provides real-time visibility. Ever better is not a tagline. It's our standard. Discover how Ryder Supply Chain Solutions can make you ever better.
Did you know that every single flush flings odors onto your soft surfaces? Then they get released back into the air, so you smell them later. Ew, right? That's why Febreze created small spaces. Press firmly and watch it get to work. Unlike the leading comb, small spaces continuously eliminate odors in the air and on surfaces, so they don't come back for 45 days. Just imagine what it can do with other odors.
Bottom line is, mom's love that Lando Frost premium sliced meats have no byproducts.
Loading. Shooting the call.
Hey, loading here. I thought this was a no byproducts call.
Lando Frost Premium. Fresh look, same great taste. Did you know the source of odor in your home could be all your soft surfaces? Odors get trapped in your home's fabrics and resurface over time. Febreze Fabric Refresher eliminates odors. Its water-based formula safely penetrates fabrics where odors hide. Spray it on your rugs, your curtains, your furniture, all over your home to make it part of your tidying up routine. Febreze Fabric Refresher. For an all-over freshness you'll love.
These past few months haven't been easy, but they've reminded us there's no place like home.
Home has new meaning. Home means everything.
Sarah! Jenny Craig works. Introducing Rapid Result Snacks. You can lose up to 17 pounds in your first 4 weeks.
Doing Jenny Craig? My best decision ever.
Limited time offer and flexible delivery options with Jenny Craig.
I want Cortana off.
Can expose your personal info. There, and everywhere. Norton 360 with LifeLock is all-in-one protection for your devices.
Cortana off. How do I get it off?
Go to Norton.com.
When managing diabetes, you can't always stop for a finger stick. With the Freestyle Libre 14-day system, a continuous glucose monitor, you don't have to. With a painless 1-second scan, you can check your glucose with a smartphone, so you can stay in the moment. You can do it without finger sticks. Ask your doctor for a prescription today. And if you join the My Freestyle program, you can try the Freestyle Libre 14-day system for free. Learn more at myfreestyle.us.
I tried a laxative that's both gentle and fast.
Great tasting Dogalac soft chews.
I can't fix it. There has to be a way to fix it.
Puts you comfortably in control. Dogalac soft chews.
Ow!
The world around you may seem like an immovable, implacable place. It is not. It can be bright, quiet, and safe. It's a change that will be felt from this street to this
Does anyone know how to fix my broadcast studio?
everywhere in between. All it takes is the slightest push in just the right place, and that will be the tipping point that changes everything.
I'm gonna pick the whole thing up and try to fix it. I don't know how to fix it though.
Lincoln, Sunday night at 10.
The battles that will define the next elections already in full swing. House Democrats moments ago passing the For the People Act, known as H.R. 1, a sweeping bill that expands voting rights. But Republicans in state houses across the country are trying to do the opposite, pushing legislation that would make it harder to vote. More than 250 bills in 43 states to limit voting rights. And a lot of those restrictions would have a big impact on Black Americans who have been fighting for voting rights for generations. Democrats under pressure to fight back and pass legislation that would expand voting rights like H.R. 1. CNN senior political analyst Ron Brownstein writing in The Atlantic, if the party doesn't pass new protections, it could lose the House, Senate, and White House within the next 4 years. Ron Brownstein joins me now, along with Cornel West, professor of public philosophy at Harvard. Gentlemen, so good to have you on. Your Atlantic article is amazing, and you're always amazing as well, Professor. So I'm going to start with you, Ron. Your article, it really raises the alarm. You say that what happens over voting rights could be a turning point in the U.S., in U.S. democracy. House Democrats just passed this H.R. 1, as I mentioned, but there's a looming fight. Are they willing to pull out all the stops to expand voting rights instead of having it restricted in state houses across the country?
So far, the answer is most Democrats are, but maybe not enough. We just don't know if Joe Manchin or Kirsten Sinema will be willing to curtail or end the filibuster to allow the Senate to pass legislation establishing a nationwide floor of voting rights, even in the teeth of this effort by Republicans across the country, which has probably done the most widespread and sustained effort to roll back the right to the vote since the Jim Crow era in the South, since before the Voting Rights Act. And what's really striking is that this is proceeding, many of the states in which this is proceeding most aggressively, whether it's Georgia or Arizona or Texas or Florida, are states where a majority of everybody who's aged into the electorate since 2016, a majority of the kids who've turned 18 since 2016 are kids of color. And so I think what you're seeing is Republicans trying to stack sandbags against that rising demographic tide in these states. And the question is whether Democrats will take what may be their last chance between now and 2022 to establish a nationwide floor of voting rights that stops this towering wave of voter suppression.
So, Professor West, listen, we've discussed these issues before, but not, this is happening now, right? And this is frightening. These bills are just beyond outrageous. The one that passed in Georgia, in the Georgia House this week, limits early voting on weekends, requires more identification for absentee voting, restricts drop boxes. This is going to disproportionately affect Black Americans. Are we entering a new Jim Crow era?
Well, thank Brother Ron for his contributions on this, and happy birthday to you, though, brother. I know you turned 50-something on Monday, and you share a birthday with the great Harry Belafonte, who was born in Jim Crow. His elegance, his nobility ought to teach us something, namely that the backlash is real. There's no doubt about that. You talk about the big lie in terms of the election. The bigger lie is white supremacy, my brother. The various ways in which white supremacy develops, reshapes, refashions itself, not just engage in voter suppression of Black voters, but not to not allow us to have a vision so we can have a multiracial solidarity to change this nation in the name of poor and working people, disproportionately Black, brown, and indigenous, but it cuts across the board, my brother.
Republicans admitted, Professor, just this week in a SCOTUS hearing that making it harder to vote is what they need, that they have to do that in order to win. They said, because this puts us at a disadvantage, and that's why we want to change these things. And, I'm paraphrasing here, but that was almost a direct quote. What does it say that they are willing to embrace racist policies in order to achieve that?
Well, my brother, you and I know that, we're not surprised by evil or paralyzed by despair, that they supported a neo-fascist gangster, so that they have no deep commitment to democracy. This is crude power. This makes Machiavelli frown in the grave, because he wasn't this crude, he wasn't this vulgar. So at this point, they would allow for the democracy itself to collapse in the name of power, in the name of greed. Well, we shouldn't be surprised. We got to armor ourselves. Brother Ron's insights, a variety of other insights. How do we ensure both the preservation of what's left of the democracy and then the expansion of it?
Ron, you point out that go ahead, what did you want to say?
I was going to say that that's why this moment is so critical. I mean, if you look at the Supreme Court, the 6-3 Republican Supreme Court, they are not going to put a brake or erect an obstacle to what Republicans are doing in the states. If you look at the states that are moving to suppress the vote, they are by and large mostly places where Republicans hold the upper hand now with a coalition based on older white voters. And as I said, they are trying to create these barriers, these sandbags against the rising tide of demographic change in those states. It's going to be very hard to win in those states. So if the one lever that Democrats have to try to protect the basic rules of democracy is that they control both chambers of Congress and the White House today. If they let this opportunity go and they don't find a way to get around the Republican filibuster in the Senate, in 2022, the very acts in these states, the suppression and the gerrymandering that's coming, could
what is it?
What is the chambers of Congress? They will lose the opportunity to set national voting rules, and at that point, there will be nothing in the way. The road will be clear for kind of an endless succession of suppression and gerrymanders that inhibits the rise of the diverse younger generations in particular. And I point out in another story this week, all of this is occurring, Don, as the baby boom is since 1980, the baby boom has been the largest generation in the electorate, predominantly white baby boom. In 2024, for the first time, Z and millennials will be larger, and this is when it's happening.
Yeah. Professor West, what I love about you is that you don't give a damn what people think about you, right? And you have been critical of a lot of Democrats in the past. You say that they haven't been willing to go to the mat on important issues. Will they step up on voter suppression because the stakes are really, really, really high?
I agree with you. We're going to have to put strong pressure on them because they won't do it by themselves. Too much cowardliness and spinelessness, but right kind of pressure based on both principle as well as tremendous effort, collective effort. You see what's going on right now in Texas with the workers coming together. Those are the kinds of collective actions that we need in order to deal with this crucial moment that Brother Ron is highlighting today.
Yeah. Ron, the former Vice President Pence is now continuing the big lie, saying that there was election fraud in 2020. He's accusing Democrats who wanted to expand voting of an unconstitutional power grab. This is the same Pence who was hunted by rioters because of these bogus fraud claims. And by the way, the people who want these restrictions, they're doing these restrictions all on the pretense that there was some sort of voter fraud. It's a big lie as well. And maybe, as I said in the opening of the show at 10 o'clock, maybe that's just the whole point of it, is that they can use this whole big lie in order to win elections, because they, in a fraudulent way, because they can't win it legitimately.
So much the war, right? And what you're seeing up and down the Republican Party in the states, and every Republican, for example, voting as HR1, what you're seeing, I think, up and down the party is that the fear of demographic eclipse has eroded the commitment to the basic rules of small d democracy. And what is, I think, especially important for Democrats to understand is that if they don't establish a nationwide floor of voting rights and voting protections in the next few years, and Republicans win control of Congress and then perhaps win control of the White House with the help of the suppression that they're undertaking in the states, Donald Trump signaled last Sunday at CPAC, and Rick Scott has already introduced legislation that would try to impose these red state restrictions nationally, to impose them on the blue states. It's kind of a version of Lincoln saying, we can't survive half free, half slave, and half free if there is not a nationwide, basically, framework of voting rights. There may well be a nationwide framework of voting restrictions sometime in this decade. Again, precisely as the U.S. is under this profound demographic transition. None of that is a coincidence.
Ron, keep informing people. Professor, keep up the fight. Thank you very much. I'll see you both soon. Talk to you soon.
Thank you.
So listen, I wrote something that can help out in these conversations and conversations like this. It is my new book, available for pre-order now. It's called This is the Fire, What I Say to My Friends About Racism. It's coming out in just a few weeks. I hope you will check it out anywhere you can buy books. Next, President Biden making another compromise on his COVID relief bill as Senate Democrats scramble to push it across the finish line. Plus, Congressman Ronnie Jackson dodging questions all day about the Pentagon report on his time as a top White House doctor, detailing pill popping, drinking, and harassment. But tonight, he's speaking out.
At Empower Retirement, we believe in opening doors. Let us help move you towards financial freedom for all of life's moments. We've been helping over 12 million customers create the future they want, and we're ready to open some doors for you.
The Harry's razor is not the same. Our razors have 5 German-engineered blades designed to stay sharp, so you can enjoy lasting comfort. And we never upcharge you for high quality. Harry's, available in store at harrys.com.
Real love is daring to impress. Being honest with each other. Saying yes to great ideas. eHarmony, here for real love.
My name is Justina. I'm from New York and I lost 34 pounds with hydroxycut. I wanted to lose weight because I wanted to look how I felt. Now that I lost 34 pounds and I walk on the street, I feel like my best self.
I didn't know why my body was moving on its own. It turns out I have tardive dyskinesia, a condition that may be related to important medications I take for my bipolar disorder. Tardive dyskinesia can affect different parts of the body. It may also affect people who take medication for depression and schizophrenia.
In today's trying times, we're here to help you manage TD. Visit talkabouttd.com for a doctor discussion guide to prep for your next appointment in person, over the phone, or online.
It's a relief to know there are treatments for TD.
Do we have any more paper towels?
Yeah, check the pantry. I just ordered from Boxed.
What's Boxed?
Boxed is the only wholesale club that lets you tap into the value of buying in bulk online.
Is that right?
Unlike other wholesale clubs and online stores, Boxed has no membership fees. Delivery is super fast and free on orders over $49. Oh, and look, free sample. Now we don't have to worry about running out.
2 more cookies next time.
Save an extra 15% on your first order at Box.com. The better way to shop bulk.
Car buying confidence. You get it with CarGurus Finance in Advance. When you find a great deal on CarGurus, you can see a personalized financing offer in minutes with no impact on your credit score. So come time to buy, you'll be more than ready. Shop at CarGurus today. New on BritBox, The New Yorker Files Season 2.
They've died in the island of New York. Police are investigating.
And arriving in April, the new season of fan favorite Death in Paradise. We have a motive to start a free trial at BritBox.com.
These days, everyone's staring at screens and watching their spending. Good vision is more important than ever, but so is saving. That's why America's Best includes a free eye exam when you buy 2 pairs of glasses for just $69.95. Book an exam online today.
Enough for that?
That is delicious.
Oh, that's beautiful. It just melted in your mouth.
Wow, so just about everywhere you turn, there's something incredible to see. Look at that, it's absolutely beautiful.
Stanley Tucci, Searching for Italy, Sundays at 9.
Enjoy custom-made furnishings for your home during the upholstery sale on now at Paul Shaw. American craftsmanship from our most popular manufacturers, combined with our always complimentary design services. The upholstery sale on now at Paul Shaw's Home Furnishings in Portland and Eugene.
There's the old way of saving. Then there's the Credit Karma way. No fees ever. The great savings rate. And a chance to win $20,000 every month. Sorry, old way of saving. We just blew you away. Introducing Save with Credit Karma Money. Deposit just $1 now for a chance to win $20,000. Terms apply.
Enjoy custom-made furnishings for your home during the upholstery sale on now at Paul Shaw. American craftsmanship from our most popular manufacturers, combined with our always complimentary design services. The upholstery sale on now at Paul Shaw's Home Furnishings in Portland and Eugene.
I'm Ryan Young in Jackson, Mississippi, and this is CNN. So it has been a year since Super Tuesday. Can you believe that? When Joe Biden's path to victory was far from certain. In an address to House Democrats today, President Biden thanking Congressman Jim Clyburn for the critical endorsement that helped him win the nomination.
I also want to note that it was almost exactly a year ago today that you delivered the endorsement to me in South Carolina. It meant so much to me in my campaign. You're a great friend.
So joining me now to discuss is Amy Parnes, She's a senior political correspondent for The Hill, and Jonathan Allen as well, senior political correspondent for NBC News. And they are the co-authors of the new book, Lucky, How Joe Biden Barely Won the Presidency. Thank you so much. I think the last time I talked to you guys was shattered. I'm not sure, but it's been a while. It's good to see both of you.
Good to see you.
And good evening. So, Amy, I remember a little over a year ago in the campaign, it seemed like Joe Biden was toast after Iowa and New Hampshire. But he believed that he could win and that he could govern. When you look at his presidency, having covered the campaign, what do you see now?
I mean, I think I see consistency. It's something that we talk a lot about in the book, how he was able, talking about Hillary Clinton and the 2016 campaign, Don, you know, you can draw some comparisons and you can contrast the way they both handled. As John and I report in the book, he had the same message, unity, the entire time. It was different than Hillary's message, which never quite stuck with the electorate. And so we talk a lot about that in the book, and that's sort of playing out. You're trying to see him strike deals, work across the aisle. And I think he always said that he wanted to do that, and that's sort of his aim. It'll be interesting to see if he can follow through with that.
Well, speaking of working across the aisle, as Amy just said, Jonathan, Joe Biden said that he would work across the aisle and that he's trying. But Republicans don't seem too interested in that. How long do you think that he's going to keep that up?
Well, I think the rhetoric will continue to be the same, whether he's trying to unify in Congress or trying to unify the country, the popular electorate, the constituents outside, whether they be Democrats or Republicans. You're going to hear a lot about that from him. But, you know, Don, one of the things we talk about in this book, and it's part of the story of Lucky, not just in the primary, but the general election, 42,918 votes over 3 states is the difference between Joe Biden being president and Donald Trump being president. And this really ties into your last segment with Ron Brownstein and Dr. West talking about voting restrictions. You know, if we ran this election with new voting restrictions in Wisconsin, Arizona, and Georgia, we may well have had a different result.
Interesting. Do you think that Joe Biden had any idea how enthralled the Republican Party is with President Trump? Because there was a chance for a clean break. Maybe some Republicans could have worked with him. But then came the big lie, the insurrection, impeachment, and this will persist through the presidency, right?
I think
that
so.
was for Jonathan, but that's okay. He doesn't have to.
I'm sorry.
I know you're not paying attention to me. I'm sorry, guys.
So, Don, I mean, what we have seen in the aftermath of the election, as you point out, you know, you call it the big lie. A lot of folks call it the big lie. What we know is the president did lie. He lied about the former president, President Trump, lied about what happened in the election. He incited terrorists to storm the Capitol. And that's part of what the title of this book is about, too. It's not just about the Biden presidential run. It's about the Republic holding firm. Joe Biden had a vision for his campaign. He stuck to it through the tough times. We have founding fathers who built a beautiful architecture of a government that could withstand, you know, and bend without breaking. And I think, you know, for those things, Joe Biden is lucky, and so are all of us in terms of the Republic standing.
Do you want to respond to that, Amy, or can I go? I want to ask you about COVID, if you can.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, yeah, go ahead.
So talk to me about COVID, how it affected the campaign and how it defines his presidency even now.
Well, it's interesting. We have a lot of reporting on both sides of on the Trump campaign. You had, as we report in the book, Brad Parscale, Trump's former campaign manager, warning him in February that this could bring down his campaign. And then President Trump said, well, I don't understand, Brad. What does this have to do with politics? What does this have anything to do with politics? And so you have that side. And then you had the other side where Joe Biden is, you know, home in his basement. He's getting mocked for it. And secretly, I think his aides were a little bit happy that he was in the basement because he had this penchant for making gaffes and for kind of delivering, you know, some jokes here and there and going off script. He hasn't done that lately. But, you know, we have in the book, as we report, Anita Dunn, his senior advisor, said she told an associate, COVID is the best thing that happened to the vice president. And that was a very telling moment, we thought, because it kind of explained what the Biden campaign was thinking, even though they were saying this is the best strategy, we're going to, let the president kind of implode and get out of the way. But you could see sort of what they were thinking in terms of keeping their candidate on the sidelines.
Jonathan, Republicans like to paint Democrats as radical socialists, but it is hard to do with Joe Biden. Is this Joe Biden's big strength now as president?
It's absolutely one of his big strengths, and I think it's why he's the president of the United States, is because he was able to distance himself from the extreme of his.
It is hard to do with
strategy. We're going to, let the president kind of implode and get out of the way. But you could see sort of what they were thinking in terms of keeping their candidate on the sidelines.
Jonathan, Republicans like to paint Democrats as radical socialists, but it is hard to do with Joe Biden. Is this Joe Biden's big strength now as president?
It's absolutely one of his big strengths, and I think it's why he's the president of the United States, is because he was able to distance himself from
this radical. So,
even though they were saying this is the best strategy, we're going to, let the president kind of implode and get out of the way. But you could see sort of what they were thinking in terms of keeping their candidate on the sidelines.
Jonathan, Republicans like to paint Democrats as radical socialists, but it is hard to do with Joe Biden. Is this Joe Biden's big strength now as president?
It's absolutely one of his big strengths.
I don't know how to fix this.
It kind of explained what the Biden campaign was thinking, even though they were saying this is the best strategy, we're going to, let the president kind of implode and get out of the way. But you could see sort of what they were thinking in terms of keeping their candidate on the sidelines.
Jonathan, Republicans like to paint Democrats as radical socialists, but it is hard to do with Joe Biden. Is this Joe Biden's big strength now as president?
It's absolutely one of his big strengths, and I think it's why he's the president of the United States.
What they were thinking, we thought, because it kind of explained what the Biden campaign was thinking, even though they were saying this is the best strategy, we're going to, let the president kind of implode and get out of the way. But you could see sort of what they were thinking in terms of keeping their candidate on the sidelines.
Jonathan, Republicans like to paint Democrats as radical socialists, but it is hard to do with Joe Biden. Is this Joe Biden's big strength now as president?
It's absolutely one of his big strengths, and I think it's why he's the president of the United States, is because he was able to distance himself from the extreme of his party. And one of the stories that we tell for the first time in this book is the push and pull within the Biden campaign over the protests for racial violence, for racial injustice. So what happened inside that campaign was there were advisors who were pushing Joe Biden to apologize for the crime bill, to embrace defund the police, to really get more in line with, I think, where the base of the party is. Not just Democrats. I think, the whole country in a lot of ways was crying out for racial justice. And so what Biden saw was that someone happened inside that camp politically too much. The phrase defund the police is something that Donald Trump is trying to hang around him and to embrace defund the police. To really get more in line with, I think, where the base of the party is. Not just Democrats. The whole country in a lot of ways was crying out for racial justice. And so what Biden saw was that someone happened inside that camp politically too much. The phrase defund the police is something that Donald Trump is trying to hang around him and defund the police. To really get more in line with, I think, where the base of the party is. Not just Democrats. I think, the whole country in a lot of ways was crying out for racial justice. And what Biden saw was that some of those calls were politically too much. The phrase defund the police is something that Donald Trump is trying to hang around him and around the rest of the Democratic Party. And Biden and a few advisors around him basically pushed back on the advisors who were appealing to him to embrace defund the police. And I think that was a big part of his victory, was the ability to show some distance.
I know this is going to tick a lot of people off, a lot of authors out there, but I have to thank you because finally there's an interesting political book to read. Thank you both, and thank you both for writing it, and thank you for appearing. The book again is called Lucky: How Joe Biden Barely Won the Presidency by Jonathan Allen and Amy Parnes. A Pentagon report confirming inappropriate behavior, including popping pills, drinking on the job, and harassing female coworkers, while Ronnie Jackson was the top White House doctor. And now Congressman Jackson is responding tonight. Plus. Oh boy, it is a MAGA music video starring Roger Stone.
Want to know what other guys are saying about RexMD.com?
This is my first time using telemedicine, and I recommend this process to anyone. The total experience was amazing. I couldn't be happier with the product.
Here's how RexMD.com works. Just fill out a brief survey, and if appropriate, you can try a sample pack of ED medication, which are currently available to new customers. Your consultation is free. There's no copays, no doctor office visits, and your shipping is always free. Sample pack prescriptions of ED medication are now available at RexMD.com.
Sleep soundly tonight from the brand that more families trust for quality and timeless protection. ADT.
New from Crest. I've been telling everyone, the secret to great teeth is having healthy gums. Keep yours healthy with new Crest Advanced Gum Restore. It's clinically proven to detoxify the
How do I get this?
And it restores by helping heal gums in as little as 7 days. Because you can't have a healthy smile without healthy gums. Advanced Gum Restore from Crest, the #1 toothpaste brand in America.
As a young girl, I was always comparing myself to my sisters. They were always thin, and I wasn't. I ate a lot of food. And then after I had my son, it was really difficult to lose the baby weight, and everything took so much time and energy, and I didn't have that. And then I tried New. It was easy, and it was super convenient. It's effective. It's life-changing. My name is Nefertiti, and New worked for me. Visit Noom.com and lose the weight for good.
Did you know Prilosec OTC can stop frequent heartburn before it begins? Heartburn happens when stomach acid refluxes into the esophagus. Prilosec OTC uses a unique delayed release formula that helps it pass through the tough stomach acid. It then works to turn down acid production, blocking heartburn at the source. With just 1 pill a day, you get 24-hour heartburn protection. Prilosec OTC. 1 pill a day, 24 hours, 0 heartburn.
With the Dish Anywhere app, you can watch what you want, where you want, at no extra charge.
Kids, bedtime.
Which is a good thing, because life is full of little surprises.
Ready to rock?
Even when there's an unexpected change in venue. Watch what you want, where you want, on up to 5 devices, at no extra charge. Dish. Tuned in to you.
I tried everything to get clear skin. Then I found Proactive.com. They have 3 different systems with clinically proven ingredients and tested by dermatologists. Subscribe today for less than $1 a day, risk-free, and get this free charcoal brush at Proactive.com.
The greatest leaders cast long shadows in history. The legacy forged in granite and marble. But history is more than a monument. And it's never so black and white.
The story continues. Sundays at 10.
Want to save hundreds on your wireless bill? With Xfinity Mobile, you can. How about saving hundreds on the new Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra 5G? You can do that too. All on the most reliable network? Sure thing. And with fast nationwide 5G included at no extra cost, we've got you covered. So join the carrier rated #1 in customer satisfaction. And learn how much you can save at xfinitymobile.com/mysavings.
The man with auto buying superpowers is back. Captain Credit, the superhero from King Charles. He's ready to get you into a quality pre-owned car, truck, or SUV with
zero hassle, and affordable payments. Got bad credit, no down payments, got hidden credit settings, no problem. He's got the ability to finance just about anyone. Best of all, you can shop and apply for financing online. Car buying has never been easier. Don't let credit problems stand in your way. Captain Credit from Gage Auto is here for you. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's proof that Gage Auto says.
Stanley Tucci, Searching for Italy, Sundays at 9 on CNN.
GOP Congressman Ronnie Jackson calling accusations against him a political hit job after a Pentagon report went into shocking detail about inappropriate behavior during his time as White House doctor. CNN's Jessica Dean walks us through exactly what the report found.
A scathing review from the Department of Defense Inspector General for the former White House physician and current Texas Congressman Ronnie Jackson. The report, obtained by CNN prior to its release on Wednesday and based on interviews with 78 witnesses, concludes Jackson made, quote, sexual and denigrating comments about a female subordinate, violated the policy for drinking alcohol on a presidential trip, and took prescription sleeping pills that caused concern from colleagues about his ability to provide proper care. On Wednesday, Jackson's aides scrambled to contain the fallout, and Jackson declined to answer further questions.
I've already submitted a statement.
In his statement to CNN, Jackson alleged the investigation was politically motivated, saying, quote, Democrats are using this report to repeat and rehash untrue attacks on my integrity. He added this is because he refused to, quote, turn my back on President Trump. Jackson also said he rejected any allegation he consumed alcohol while on duty. The years-long investigation details one incident in which one witness recalled Jackson pounding on the door of a female subordinate's room, saying, quote, I need you to come to my room. Another witness alleged Jackson made a comment about a female medical subordinate's breasts and buttocks during a presidential trip to Asia in 2014. Jackson rose through the ranks to become physician to the president for both President Barack Obama and President Donald Trump. In a handwritten performance review, Obama described Jackson as a, quote, tremendous asset to the entire White House team.
You had President Obama giving him an A+ report. You have President Trump giving him an A+ report.
But Jackson's profile rose dramatically when President Trump took a liking to him. Jackson declared Trump in excellent health, despite evidence of heart disease.
The president's overall health is excellent. His cardiac performance during his physical exam was very good.
Trump later nominated Jackson as the Veterans Affairs Secretary, but that nomination fell apart over allegations Jackson was, quote, abusive toward colleagues, that he loosely handled prescription pain medications, and was periodically intoxicated. Allegations Jackson called completely false and fabricated.
He started getting hit with vicious rumors. Vicious. They're not true. They're not true.
So they try and destroy a man.
Ultimately, Jackson ran for and won his congressional seat in Texas in 2020, but gone was any appearance of that formerly cordial relationship he appeared to have with former President Obama. Instead, Jackson embracing conspiracy theories about Obama spying on former President Trump's campaign. Now, we also know that Jackson will possibly face a review of his retirement pay. The Inspector General suggesting to the Secretary of the Navy that they take the appropriate action. Don?
Jessica Dean, thank you so much. Next. Roger Stone taking center stage in a pro-Trump music video.
Love the energy today. Climb in the leaderboard.
For loving the feeling and feeling the love.
You crushed it.
Fitness changes lives. Proform is changing fitness. With iFit, personalized workouts and classes for every level, for every mood, for every passion, for everybody. Visit proform.com to get your bike today for only $39 a month.
When I noticed my sister moving differently, she said it was like someone else was controlling her mouth. Her doctor said she has tardive dyskinesia,
which may be related to important medication she takes for her depression. TD can affect different parts of the body.
In today's trying times, we're here to help you manage TD. Visit talkabouttd.com for a doctor discussion guide to prep for your next appointment in person, over the phone, or online.
We were so relieved to learn there are treatments for TB. We believe in best friends and new friends. At Del Webb, we believe in growth, movement, and the awesome power of the get-together. We believe in beautifully designed homes with innovative floor plans and living exactly how you want to live, surrounded by people who make life better. Del Webb, we believe you'll like it here.
Think you need to buy expensive skincare products to see dramatic results? Try Olay Skincare. Just 1 jar of microsculpting cream has the hydrating power of 5 jars of a prestige cream, which helps plump skin cells and visibly smooth wrinkles, while Olay Retinol 24 provides visibly smoother, brighter skin. For dramatic skincare results, try Olay, and now receive 25% off your purchase at Olay.com. Brand power helping you buy better.
The Harry's razor is not the same. Our razors have 5 German-engineered blades designed to stay sharp, so you can enjoy lasting comfort. And we never upcharge you for high quality.
Jesus.
Hey there, Robert Larson here. You know, with SimpliSafe, you get comprehensive, professionally monitored home security without having to leave your house or have anyone to come install it. You simply order it online, it gets delivered to your door, and you can set it up yourself in just a few minutes. Imagine that. So take it from an expert. Get SimpliSafe to protect your home, your family, and anything else you need to keep a close eye on.
Tony here from creditrepair.com, taken to the streets to talk about credit. What's a good credit score? Go.
600.
Maybe if you're trying to pay thousands extra in interest rates. Cut the confusion at creditrepair.com.
I had to gap my teeth for 22 years, and it was gone.
Hold on a second. I have to see what my password is.